Alright, Netflix. Netflix will take over your life if you let it. There is so much on at the moment. So what myself and Dean have decided to do is basically not bother with the technology this week, not bother with the news, reviews. We just decided to kick back and talk about what the fuck we're watching on Netflix, because there really is that much. We talked for a good chunk, and I'm sure people who are listening to this are going to say, you didn't talk about this series, you didn't talk about that series. And if we didn't, drop us a line. Let's get the conversation going. But before we talk about Netflix, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. Docuseries is the director website for the Irish beauty industry. Essentially, they're the Just Eat of beauty. So if you're looking for a makeup artist, beautician, eyelashes, tan, all that good stuff, you can order and book your appointments with some of the best makeup artists, beauticians and people in those industries in Ireland simply through an app. It's brilliant. I really can't say anything better about it than that. But right now what they're doing is they're looking for more sponsored professionals and freelancers, and they're offering really good deals to those who want to go on. So if you know any makeup artists or anybody in the beauty industry who you think would get use out of being in the Just Eat of the beauty industry, well then tell them, find the link on our page, check out what they offer. But for now we're just going to Netflix and chill. So let's go. Oh, dude, Netflix is on fire at the minute.
Netflix, go take a break from tech for this episode, and we're gonna get our Netflix on. Lots of new stuff on it, man. Lots of new stuff. Just in time for the winter season as well.
No, because like we're obviously after finishing the gaming episode with Vinny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who's listened to the last episode will know this. There's so many fucking games out right now that I don't have the hours to commit to Netflix and to gaming.
It's hard to fit it all in, man. First world problems, huh?
First world problems. And obviously this is before Disney Life comes out, so I really don't know. Or Disney Plus comes out, so I don't know when I'm supposed to have the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so for a change, we're going to talk Netflix, like what's good out, what's bad out, like what to watch, what to avoid, this, that and the other. Probably good times, because they just announced that they're making another season of Stranger Things today.
Yeah.
On the day we're recording, so we're recording obviously at the end of September, and that's when they announced the new series of Stranger Things is in the pipeline. So another series of that. Not a fan. That's first controversial
Stranger
opinion,
Things.
clearly.
I like Stranger Things.
Not a fan.
I've watched all three seasons. First season, yeah, I thought it was very good. Second season, not as good, but the third season is definitely a lot more mature than the previous two seasons. How far did you get into it? Did you watch the first season, or did you
I got about halfway through and I was just like,
Yeah, see, no, like when it first came out, everyone was all like, oh, it's got like a really kind of like 80s Stephen King kind of vibe to it. So I immediately was kind of hooked, like, you know. But no, I thought it was really good this season, and I'm actually surprised they're after releasing teaser so soon, because I'm pretty sure between season 2 and 3, 2 years passed.
They didn't release a teaser or anything. They just put up the picture on the Netflix page with the writing upside down.
Well, yeah.
But it's just here. Basically, there's another one coming.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously that's down the line. So, but we're here to talk about like what's current. So, anyway, yeah. But I'm just saying it's a good time to talk about it. Watching anything good?
Yeah. Two big things on it right now that's getting a lot of reviews. The first one, it's only a 3-parter. It's Inside Bill's Brain, Decoding Bill Gates.
I haven't watched it yet. It's supposed to be brilliant. It's on the list.
That man is honestly a god amongst men. He is honestly a legend. So, like, it doesn't exactly kind of like, you know, it gives small biography, you know, in between scenes and all that kind of thing. But just to put into context the kind of person that Bill Gates is, the first episode, it goes into how basically he started reading up on all of these children that were dying of diarrhea in Africa, and he was wondering, like, how the hell are people still dying of diarrhea these days? So he decided to go and visit Africa, and he realized that they're basically putting their sewage, for lack of a better word, into the same ponds that they're getting their drinking water from, and where kids are playing and all that, like, and the kids were getting extremely sick and dying before even their 3rd, 4th, 5th birthday. So Bill Gates decided, all right, we got to reinvent the toilet because there just wasn't the facilities there to be able to build a proper massive sewer system. So he put millions of his own money towards different competitions and events and keynotes, and basically saying to different colleges, like, I need you to, here's funding, there's going to be a grand prize at the end, I needed to figure out how to reinvent the toilet so that we can start offering these people, good drinking water and facilities. But it goes into that. The second episode kind of goes into like how Microsoft came about, kind of person he was. It talks to like other people who worked with him when he was younger, like, and what he was like. Really intense guy when he was younger. Like on par with not at the same level as Steve Jobs. Like Steve Jobs, like as much of a genius as he was, is known for being a massive asshole. Yeah. Like a really, really
Bill
hard
Gates
dick.
is supposed to be a bit of a dick as well, though.
He was a bit of a dick back in the day. Don't know, obviously behind the scenes we don't know what they're like, but like nowadays he comes across as a really genuine person who is actually out. It all goes through, sorry, in the first episode how he or is it second episode? One of them anyway, he goes through how he went about eradicating polio.
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong, he's done an awful lot of good shit, and he's a fucking madman anyway. So I can imagine a 3-part series on getting inside his head,
it's
and
enough.
up close and personal is good.
Yeah, it's really good, and they didn't drag it out.
How long are the episodes?
About an hour. Yeah, they could have dragged it out to probably 5 or 6. Like, there's so much about Bill Gates, no one, like, they could have gone into Microsoft so much, but it's not about Microsoft. It's not about Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's just it's just about Bill Gates. Anybody can watch it. You don't have to be like tech minded. You don't have to be like like into your like Microsoft and like business or anything like that. I was watching it and I was sitting at home inside in bed and I was watching it. And after the first episode, I immediately actually went out and bought Steve Jobs' biography. But immediately I was like, how can I just how can I become more motivated in my day-to-day life, not only in work, but how can I make finish my day where I feel like I achieved something? Because like it seems like he kind of goes out of his way every day, that like he has this real set routine, like, you know.
Have you ever listened to the Gary V audiobook?
No.
It's very much about that kind of,
See, I don't
work
want
your
to
fucking ass off and make sure every day feels like a day you're getting something accomplished towards your fucking. But his is very much business driven, whereas you've got people like David Goggins who are very much about your like personal headspace or whatever. I know it's off topic, but anyway, if you're getting that kind of vibes off it, handy to know if anybody else gets those kind of vibes off after watching the Bill Gates thing. No, highly recommend it. So I still have to watch the third episode. I watched the first 2 episodes back to back last week. Don't know why I haven't delved into the third episode, but definitely go try and get into it there in the next couple of days now and watch it. But highly recommend. Highly recommend. If you're on that whole like academic drive and you're kind of looking for those. If you're kind of looking for the documentaries or those, if you're watching something you don't want to watch, South Park, for example, which has just recently been added to Netflix, you don't want to watch animation or something short and shitty, you can watch these documentaries called Explained. They're by Vox. I wrote an article on the first series, which you can find on the website. But here's the drill. They're 20 minutes long, so you're not getting the detailed, deep information about these things. It's just enough of a nugget of information for you to, I suppose, have the water cooler chats and pretend like you know shit. Yeah. But also, if you find a topic that you like, you're going to want to go out and read more about it. So, like the new series is actually going to be a weekly feature, unlike the first one, which was a drop. And the first one of the second series was on cults. So 20 minutes on just what a cult is, how the structure of a cult, that it's run by a leader. These are the techniques that they use to generate a cult. Here's the good and bad things. All of that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. Yeah. And then they have a limited series at the moment, which is called Explained the Mind, and it's a 6-part series on the mind.
5, isn't it?
Oh, I'm going to double check just to make sure that I'm not talking shit now.
Yeah, just while you're looking that up there. Like you said, 5. Yeah. The mind. Some of the just to give people a bit of context into what it's like. The first episode is about memory. How does remembering work? Delve into the way our brain stores, processes, and retrieves memories. You got dreams. So, you know the way everyone's always like, "Oh, I had this dream last night. What does it mean?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but you actually see the science of how your brain manages a dream for 20 minutes. So it's not like a big scientific lesson, but it's
easy to understand. Like, you know, they get different graphics and animations, and like they also have like, you know, like people who know what they're talking about, obviously doing interviews and stuff. But like I said, it's only 20
and
minutes
the
long.
narrator, and because it's obviously by Vox, the narrator is always somebody recognizable. Like the second one is actually narrated by Emma Stone.
Yeah. So and it's
a nice recognizable voice to listen to.
And it's not heavy.
No, it's not heavy.
Not heavy at all. Like it's real. Like, again, like anyone can.
That's it.
Understand it.
Lunch break, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Watch something.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of information. It's really cool.
Highly recommend it. Look forward to what the next episode has in store. I hope to do a lot of episodes on it now because, like you said, like I really like Vox. I only discovered them probably about a year and a half ago from their Facebook videos. But even like those, like, you know, they'll go into different things, like, you know, like what's going on in Syria, like, you know, something about Donald Trump, like blah blah, like, and they have just a very good way of like presenting it in graphics and like easy to understand language.
Yeah, it's short, it's concise, it's to the point, and it gives you enough information that you need. Like in the okay, so this series is obviously being released on a week-to-week basis. That's really good. And then the second series was, I think it was 10 episodes long.
Yeah.
And Joe, they tackle things like, Joe, why are women paid less? Joe, like the pay gap. They look at astrology. They look at marijuana. They look at cricket! Exclamation points. So it's a mad array of, Joe, bits and pieces of anything and everything, which is quite cool. So, you know, if you're in the mood to kind of learn something, and you don't want to watch, as I said, South Park, which is all of its seasons are on Netflix now. So obviously, look, Netflix having South Park is fucking great, and being able to sit down, and I watched the first 2 episodes today, and I'm in again.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like, you know, like your hour break inside work or sitting in the canteen, you know, you don't feel like talking to anyone. You want to keep your brain going so you don't get into slump after lunch. Just put on an episode. It's 20 minutes long. Keep your brain active, like, you know, like get you thinking about different things that you wouldn't have thought about before. Yeah, really good idea from Netflix to team up with Vox. And
and if you're the kind of person who likes to smoke a joint and watch a documentary, that's 20 minutes. Yeah. So, you know, you guys have fun too.
Yeah.
Actually, it seems as we're talking about the guys that like watching Netflix after, you know, drugs or whatever. The Chef Show.
The Chef's Show.
The Chef Show, which is, what's his name? Jon Favreau. Cooking with his mates.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Joe, but they're actually, so you're getting 2 things there. It's like a cookery show, obviously, on one half, where he's got a professional chef with him and they're learning how to cook particular dishes, and he's cooking with a celebrity in the kitchen. So I think like the first episode of the new series is like him and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at it here.
And last season, obviously, you had some people from the Avengers. You had people from different movies he's been involved with.
Is he actually a chef?
Yeah,
or
he's been getting.
I wish I had a mic now, but he made a movie called Chef.
Yeah,
where he played a chef, and it's based on that.
Oh, okay.
But wasn't the whole thing that he actually was learning while he was there?
In the movie,
he was learning from a guy while he was doing the movie.
He's like a very famous
Yeah, but I think from what I think while he was doing the movie, he was learning from a chef to feel like he was more in the part or whatever. So now he just is doing this, like obviously learning from proper chefs. So it's more about learning to cook fancy dishes as well as talking shit with people. But yeah, you're right that it is off the movie.
Have you watched many episodes of it?
Watched 2 or 3. It's Joe. It's food TV, Joe.
Yeah,
there's a time and a place when you're kind of in the mood to watch a fella make crispy bacon burgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the Chef Show, you would recommend it. It's 2 seasons there. New seasons just after going up right now. So how many episodes?
Do you know what? There's so much on Netflix, like, because
there's so much on Netflix.
There's so much. Like, we could actually spend like 2 hours going into detailed depth of things. But like, you know, I actually have it open here in front of me. I watched the Jeff Dunham Beside Himself special the other night. Man with the Puppets, Ahmed. Silence! I kill you. It's what you expect from Jeff Dunham. It's fun with puppets. Again, grand if you're having a lazy night. But then you've obviously complete other end of the spectrum, as you've been saying, and you have your favourite show on Netflix, like 13 Reasons Why.
My favourite show?
Yeah, I know.
I fucking hate 13 Reasons Why.
I'm just waiting for the reaction. Go on.
No, I hope I would not endorse that kind of shite at all. Another series that I'm watching at the moment, which it's getting rave reviews online, and I would highly recommend it, especially coming up to Halloween season. Marianne.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
So Marianne is a French gothic horror TV series. I think there's about 9 episodes. I'm 4 in at the moment, I believe. But it's basically revolves around witches. So the basic storyline of it is that the main actress in the series is a horror writer, who suffered with nightmares when she was younger of a witch called Marianne. So as she grew older, she felt the best way to deal with her nightmares was to put them down on paper. So she makes this her not the protagonist, who would be the good person in a the protagonist, and the antagonist is the other person. Yeah, the protagonist anyway is basically a girl called Elizabeth something or other. But it turns out that a woman in an old town that she lived in became so obsessed with her book she started to believe that she was Marianne herself. That's all I'm going to say right now. It is really scary. It is really, really intense. There was a couple of scenes last night where I had my eyes closed, and even just ominous, stereotypical horror music in the background, I had to like block my ears and all. Like it was dead. I felt dead uneasy. Now, in saying that as well, I have a thing with witches. Like, you know, like I don't mind horror movies, you know, like, you know, paranormal stuff, slashers and all that. But I just remember like years ago when I was younger, I just had a weird nightmare about a witch, and it's I can still see it to this day. So now like witches, just I have something with them. They honestly scare the shit out of me.
I was like, is this in a good way or a bad way? Like his thing with witches.
No, like
you're not a fan of Hocus Pocus or anything like that, no?
Oh no, fucking Hocus Pocus. Watch that all day. That's come back into Omniplex there for Halloween season.
Go away. Anyway, back to your
but
weird
no,
witch fear.
Yeah, no.
What was this dream? You mentioned the dream. Come here. I'm done talking about Netflix for a few minutes. I want to hear about this witch dream.
It was from a movie. I think it was The Conjuring 2. It's basically a scene in it where the two girls are in a bedroom and it's dark, obviously, and they can hear something, or the door's moving or something like that, and whatever way one looks at her wardrobe, I probably wasn't a witch, some kind of demon, but it was just a woman who was crouched on the top of the wardrobe, and like she screams and she just looks terrifying. And I just had a couple of really vivid dreams about that, like where like very, very rarely now. Everyone has nightmares, like, but if I have a nightmare, I'll wake up like, and I won't give a shit about it. But I'm awake 5 minutes, I've already forgotten about it. Like, nightmares don't faze me at all. But like this one, like, has implanted it.
Nightmares don't faze me, kid.
But this bitch
I ain't afraid of no
of
ghost.
a witch, this bitch of a witch has imprinted herself in my fucking brain. So ever since then, I've just had a thing with witches. So going back to Marianne, you don't have to have an irrational fear of witches to enjoy it. The story itself is really good. The only thing I would say is that, as I said, it's a French show.
I like that segue back on track, by the way.
It's a French show, but it is dubbed in English. Now, we're enjoying it. We're enjoying the English fine. But from what I've looked online for some people who speak both fluent English and French, they say that the dubbing isn't that great. You get a much more kind of emotional connection if you're listening to it in French. But if you read the English subtitles while listening to it in French, you can actually apparently enjoy it just as much as if you were fluent in French
Kind of
listening
like a
to
Narcos kind of
it.
drill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you don't mind reading
Spanish,
subtitles,
and I haven't a word of it.
what?
I've watched that shit in Spanish and I haven't a word of it.
Yeah, I'm the same. So yeah, if you don't mind reading subtitles, I would definitely recommend watching it in subtitles. But either way, the dubbing is still, in my opinion, as someone who doesn't speak a word of French, still very enjoyable to watch. Good storyline. Even Laura, my missus, she absolutely hates horrors. Hates them. Kind of bringing her around over the past couple of months with a couple of suspenseful thrillers and that are borderline horrors. But we basically had to put it on and be like, no, you're watching it, we're putting it on. And after 2 episodes, we had to turn it off 2 nights ago because she was having none of it. And the next day, I was like, we'll put on Marianne, and she put up very little fight. She was very interested in the story and where it was going. So I would say watch it with someone, though.
Okay.
I'll put my hands up right now, so I would not watch this shit by myself. I could watch, I could literally have the last episode waiting to watch, and if no one watched it with me, I'd just be like, okay, I'm never going to watch this. No,
That is so cute. You need your girlfriend there to hold your hand and make sure you don't cry.
I don't need her to hold my hand. I just need her there so if the witch comes, I can push her in front of her.
Whatever way you want to sell it.
So Marianne, so far I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Up there with The Haunting of Hill House. Did you watch that?
No.
The Haunting of Hill
I'm
House?
not, man, dude, I am not a fan of horror stuff at all. I'm calling you a little weak ass little bitch over here, like from the
You
safety,
won't even watch them.
from the safety of my
At least
big
I'll
ass.
deal with the nightmares. Anything that
No,
causes
I
a
am
nightmare, you
talking
won't
shit
even
from the
entertain.
safety of my perch. I will not watch that shit.
There's another one now. Look, it's out a year already, but with Halloween season again coming up, if you look for something scary, Haunting of Hill House, absolutely brilliant. Really good storytelling. Obviously a lot of scares in there, a lot of suspense and tension involved. But if you're just looking for something Halloween season coming up and you haven't watched it yet, definitely watch it. The new season is coming out next year, but definitely well worth a watch.
I'm gonna completely change it up for the one I want to talk about because I'm just, and it gets us away from terrifying things, and I'm not sharing my worst ghost story ever fucking experience with you people. Not a chance. QB1 Behind the Lights. Have you watched this?
No.
So what it is, right? It's one of those ones, like if you like Last Chance U or any of those kind of shows, it's both fucking weird and really you get sucked into it. So what they do is they pick 3 quarterbacks across the United States, but here's the kicker, they're all playing high school football. They're all seniors in high school, so they're only 17, 18 years of age. They've got camera crews following them around for their final year in college. And you're looking at like someone who's like a state champion, going to be going for the national championships. Whoever's the number 1 ranked quarterback in the country at the high school level at that point in time, and somebody else who's like trying to break a record or something like that in their season, like passing yards, running yards, most touchdowns converted. In the first season, they had a fella who didn't lose a game in his whole high school career as they call it. This is what I'm saying. It's fucking weird. Like these fellas are 17, 18, and they're basically.
And is it a docuseries? Is it real, like, or is it like made in a way to look real?
No, these guys are like basically it follows them through their final year in school, going through the matches, how the season panned out, giving behind the scenes access, training grounds, injuries, all that kind of jazz, and gives you an insight of what these young fellas, because they're only young fellas, are actually dealing with in terms of the pressure that's on them already at that age. They're already like local celebrities for their schools, and they're all waiting to get signed by Division 1 college football teams these fellas are going on ESPN. There's, you're seeing matches that are being televised on American TV on ESPN. That's like us putting our schoolboys on Sky Sports and people watching it.
But like you see college football over there as a joke,
this
like
is
the size of the stadiums.
But this is high school football.
Yeah, true.
And like you should see some of the fucking stadiums there. I'm like, this is the thing. I watched it and I found it really interesting. But it's really cool as well.
What state is it based in? Do you remember?
They just pick 3 different quarterbacks every season, and they follow them for the year.
Oh, okay.
And they're all fellas who are like pipped to get like Division 1 college football contracts, and maybe somebody who might be, potentially going to reach the NFL someday. So you're seeing them early, raw, behind the scenes, and there's a part of it which is like, you're seeing how these young fellas deal with that. The difference between then the fellas who are going to like Ireland with like rugby bred schools versus a school that's never played the sport at all, but they've got this one fella who's just magic.
A machine, yeah.
So you can see all of the different elements out of what makes be like us doing a documentary for the minor footballers. Who's the big minor footballers that you're going to see playing county in the next 2 years, and us following that 17-year-old, 18-year-old during their leaving cert year and seeing how they're doing their training, the mix of everything. It's the Irish equivalent, it's the American equivalent, and obviously American football's massive. So it's really really interesting, but it's at the same stage you're always watching it going, they're like 17, man.
A lot of pressure, like number one, like the amount of pressure that they're under in general, like because of, like you said, they take it so seriously, and I'm sure you could see truly how seriously watching this, but having fucking Netflix walking around behind you with their cameras, like,
and you're on ESPN every 3rd week,
that's
being televised live, in an after school game.
Yeah, that's
because your favourites to be national champions, your top 10 in the country. This fella might be the number 1 ranked quarterback in the USA. People want to see that.
It's American culture, like, isn't it? Like I know that we take
Like, I watched the whole 3 series, and there was a fella in the first series, and like, this is the fella, 44 games unbeaten at high school, only player in high school football history to have never lost a game, hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers, and he's an arrogant little wanker. He's exactly what you'd expect, you know, like
going places, so
Joe, like the soccer prima donna that's made it and done it all by the time they're 17. He's exactly that.
Insufferable.
But like, he's walking Joe through the school like the big swinging dick. But at the same stage, when they're at home with him and he's trying to run through plays, you can see how fragile that whole facade is. It's mad. It's cool. I thought it was interesting. It's a bit different, but
You'd
anyway.
recommend it anyway for the sports fans out there.
Yeah, if you just want to watch something. Yeah, if you
Just
like Last Chance U or any of that kind of stuff, you'll enjoy this.
So, coming off of sports and coming on to something else that is new on Netflix but isn't necessarily new in general is one I've been hearing a lot about, Top Boy. Have you been watching any of that?
The boys I live with are actually watching it. I haven't actually sat down yet, but they're saying it's one of the best TV series they've watched in a long, long time.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this came out in 2011. Now that's saying something. 96% audience score. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this. Haven't looked into it myself yet now. But essentially the synopsis of it is, I'm pretty sure where are we? 2 London drug dealers ply their lucrative trade at a public housing estate in East London. So it's getting rave reviews online. It's gone viral more or less. It's all over Twitter at the moment. Might look into it during the week. Lot of episodes on each one as well. I think there's about there's three seasons. One came out in 2011, another one 2013, and the newest season 2019, which is why it's obviously gotten so popular again now.
Yep.
And I think there's season 1. Oh no, altogether there's about 20 episodes. They're talking about 7 or 8 episodes per season. But definitely go have a look into that. Might do right up on the website, see what we think of it. But if anyone's looking for something along the lines of, British kind of British television series along the lines of Boys in the Hood, kind of, or is that, or Boy? What's it called? Kiddletud, something like that, maybe.
It's good. It's supposed to be very good. I haven't sat down to watch it yet, but it's getting great. Great reviews.
Yeah.
I will. I promise. I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
It's
one
another
to
one that's
have
on
a
my
look at.
fucking list, my ever-growing fucking list.
Yeah.
Netflix will take over your life if you let it.
Yeah.
This is going to be my reoccurring theme. I'm actually upset, like I don't have enough time.
It's like you almost think like thinking it's like, oh my god, I have so much work to do. I've got this deadline, that deadline, blah blah. You're in college, like I've this assignment, that assignment. You get equally as frustrated with Netflix because like I've got like 4 movies to watch. I got fucking 7 series with 4 seasons each, and I just can't do it. I need to pick up a freaking book or something.
Yeah, like you had people, I put it like this, right? There was a couple of the lads at work or whatever. They were talking about the Between the Ferns, the movie, the Zach Galifianakis
I
thing.
put it on. Have you watched it?
I haven't, but this is the thing. You had people in work talking about it. And I was sitting there going, I haven't even watched the thing you were talking about last week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give me a chance.
It's like, where are you people getting the fucking time?
Yeah, can I have your schedule, please? Between Two Ferns, yeah. I've seen a few of the sketches online, but I sat down to watch the movie the other day and I got about half an hour in. It's kind of made in the same way that The Office is made, in the sense that Zach Galifianakis and it's just a camera crew come around making like a documentary.
Yeah, it's a...
But I don't know, I turned it off because number one, I just didn't find the humour that funny. It was very, obviously it's acting, like, you know, like, but they didn't make it that natural. Like, they didn't make you really feel like you're watching a documentary. You knew that you were watching like a scripted show.
But it's Zach Galifianakis. What the fuck else did you expect?
Yeah.
You knew that's exactly what you were getting yourself in for, that unrealistic craziness.
Also, as well as that, like, it actually did seem like, now this come off 20 minutes watch, it did seem like they kind of ripped off The Office a small bit. Stupid boss / TV presenter. He's got his secretary who knows that he's an idiot, but goes off and does all his stuff anyway. You've got a couple of other people working for him who also think he's an idiot. I don't know, I think it just kind of like ripped off The Office a bit much. So, and I just, like I said, it was just 2-stage. It just wasn't funny. You know, like, I just didn't enjoy it.
Okay, so but are you saying like I should take that off my list?
Do you know what? It would be a good movie if you're chilling out by yourself having a smoke. I think.
Okay.
Maybe with a couple of lads if you're looking for something really stupid to put on.
Just-
like really stupid that involves absolutely no thinking whatsoever.
Yeah, but I think if I was to go like that, I'd probably go. If I was to do a movie like that, you'd probably go with one of the Fridays or.
It would. Yeah, I suppose. I get what you're saying. Like, you know, like you want that kind of movie, or like Pineapple Express or something like that.
That stupid humor.
Yeah. Again, though, this is still pretty stupid humor. But yeah, it's if you just don't want, or even if you're just scrolling on your phone endlessly and you just want some background noise, like you just throw it on.
Oh, if you're having you on phone time.
Yeah. But no, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, to be honest. Anything else on your end?
There's loads. Like, this is the problem. Like, we could actually sit here rattling on for ages. I mean,
so okay, another
right,
new
rather than just hopping back and forth. If you were to pick your top 3 series that you have, the series of movies that are on Netflix that you have to watch, and then we're asking Pat the same question because he's definitely got a list of his own. Oh, there goes the phone. He's picking it straight up to see what he's got.
I mean, like, how far are we going back here? I mean, like, are we including Breaking Bad in this list? Like, do I say like relatively new enough stuff that's out to the last 3 months or so?
Yeah, sure. Like, have you not watched Breaking Bad shit? Or is that like going back as a rewatch?
Well, actually, do you know what? With the new movie coming out in the next week or so,
is that going back as a rewatch or is that new? Like, have you not watched it?
As a rewatch. Well, no, if people haven't watched it, get your life together and watch it.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm talking about like what is currently on your list as new stuff to watch.
Yeah. So, new stuff to watch. Number 1, see, I don't want to include Inside Bill Gates' Brain because you can literally, if you were off on a Sunday and have nothing to do, you could have that done in 3 hours. I want to pick something that it'll keep you, that you could watch over the course of a week or two. I would say definitely look into Marianne. Very, very good. I am enjoying the storytelling in it, and I honestly can't wait to finish up here tonight so I can go home and watch one more episode. The Spy with Sacha Baron Cohen. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but from just looking at the trailer on Netflix and from what I've heard of other people, looks absolutely brilliant. I think that is arguably one of the must-see TV shows on Netflix at the moment, definitely. And also another one that I've watched a couple of episodes from. If you don't mind something a bit heavy, Unbelievable. Heard of that one? It's basically about a young girl. It's rated 18s. Like, you know, like how often do you get something on Netflix that's rated 18s? It's about a young girl who is accused about lying about a rape. So 2 female detectives take it upon themselves to look at previous cases of similar attacks on other women, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Pretty sure it's based on a true story. You've got a good 8 episodes in there, about 45 minutes to an hour each. Like I said, it is heavy. Definitely not something that you're just going to want to, like, you know, put on in background noise, that kind of thing, or, like, you know, like if you're feeling like a comedy or something, like, you wouldn't put it on. But if you're looking for a good, real engaging show to really get sucked into, this is definitely one of the ones on Netflix to watch. Pat, what about yourself? Our producer Pat here is going to give us his Netflix picks to see what he's been watching lately.
I'm going to try at least. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm just looking at my list of ever-growing movies and documentaries to watch, and I haven't written down which ones are Netflix and which ones aren't. So, yeah, I'm just going to tell you the last 3 I wrote down. And yeah, you can tell me. Mid-90s, which is a Jonah Hill movie. I think it was Jonah Hill's directing debut. He wrote and directed the movie.
It's not Netflix.
Damn
Not
it.
Netflix.
Hated, a G.G. Allen doc.
You're really not doing well.
Not Netflix either. Last one also not Netflix. They Shall Not Grow Old, which actually probably not Netflix.
I definitely want to watch that.
Looks unreal, doesn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
It's Peter Jackson, I think, produced and directed World War I documentary where they've taken loads of mostly never before seen footage from World War I, and basically just do a documentary about the whole thing. Apparently it's incredible.
But they've colorized it as well, like, so, like, it looks like amazing. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like called They Shall Not Grow Old. But yeah, no, it definitely does look amazing. But your input there, Pat, was
None of
essentially
them are
useless.
Netflix. All right. Well,
Yeah.
this one is Netflix. Sour Grapes.
Sour grapes.
Please tell me.
Yeah, no, that one's on Netflix.
All right. So any wine connoisseurs out there, Sour Grapes is about a guy who sells wine. I'm pretty sure Chinese, but I'm not 100% sure, but basically he makes a bunch of, it's a documentary as well, so it's a true story. He makes a bunch of counterfeit wines, somehow sciences the hell out of it, figures out what certain very expensive vintage wines tasted like, and reproduces them as fakes. Reproduces the bottles, like makes the bottles look really old, or everything that looks perfect. Sells them for a lot of money. Turns out a bunch of fakes.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Apparently,
actually.
it's very good.
Yeah, an hour and a half long documentary. You might actually look. I'm actually going to add to my list right now. That sounds pretty good.
Is Barry on Netflix? That was swept up at some award ceremony recently.
Barry. Oh, it is.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Barack Obama, is it?
No, Barry is a show with Bill Hader.
Okay, no, never mind. Sorry. There actually is here a movie called Barry about Barack Obama on Netflix. So, I think I watched that one actually, but I think I turned it off halfway through. I didn't really enjoy it.
Is it what he's thought about?
The Barry? It's a TV show with Bill Hader. It won a lot of awards recently.
Okay, it's not, no, because the one I'm seeing called Barry is, the same thing, a young Barack Obama. Young Barack Obama. Anyway.
So, what about yourself, John?
3 for me. I don't know. See, I'm weird. I don't watch like what normal people watch. I'm being truthful. Obviously, like the Explained, that's high on my to-do list at the moment. The other one I was looking at was it's called Abstract. See, this is what I'm saying. Like Abstract, it's the art of design. So again, it's like these kind of short episodes, but it's talking to like the most innovative. Let me rephrase.
Innovative.
There you go. Yeah, and you're going talking to them about their designs and how they do things and what they've done, and I find that fucking interesting, and some people might. So like you have Explained, you have that, and then like I go the complete opposite end of the scale, and you've obviously got Power. Now, I'm not watching Power week to week like most people. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait and bulk the whole season, binge it over one hungover sad weekend or something like that. And those are the 3 for me, because obviously Power's iconic, and I can't believe we've got this far into the conversation about Netflix without talking about.
Never got into it.
What?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm just
Dean.
That kind of show just doesn't do it for me.
Have you watched it? Have you tried it?
No. But I just the premise just doesn't interest me at all.
I'll watch The Haunting of the Hill if you watch that. Man, it's really good. I didn't think so either. I didn't think I'd get into it either.
I might give it a shot once if I run out of things to watch on Netflix. I'll give Power a go.
What you're telling me is you're never going to fucking watch it.
No, do you know what? To be fair to you, like this has happened in the past as well, and this is going to be a pretty good segue actually. Like, but I have watched other shows in the past that I was like, no, I don't think I like that. It's a bit stupid. Blah blah blah. I've even watched the first couple of episodes a couple of times. I didn't like it, and when I actually committed, I did really enjoy them. Speaking of which,
if you get through the first 2 episodes, you're going to love it. But anyway,
fair enough. Speaking of which, over the next week or so, the new Peaky Blinders season is coming onto Netflix.
The one that they just finished on the BBC, is it?
Yeah, very soon.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's in the first week or 10 days or so of October.
Do you know the way I just ranted at you?
You've never seen it.
I've never watched it.
That is that's a show that I watched the first episode of 3 times before I eventually bit the bullet and said, right, power through it.
There we go. That is exactly the problem I'm having. Like, again, the lads I'm living with, they sat down, they watched it through. One of them had watched it and they wanted to rewatch. The other one said they're going to commit, and I was going to wait for a wedding for 2 days. So I came in and they were on like season 2 episode 1. I was like, right, I'll go back, I'll watch the first one, I'll catch up. And
just didn't grab you.
No, do you know what? It's really good. It's just, I'm looking at it going, I really need to sit down and just commit to this.
Yeah, no,
so
you do.
So I think if I get like a sick day or something like that, touch wood that doesn't happen. But if you have one of those days, then I think that's going to be a day where I get like a big bag of hunky dories and a bottle of 7-Up and just lie there, and watch that through. Like,
it's definitely one of those series that I have watched like 4 episodes in a row non-stop without getting up to eat. Like, it's like it really does grab you. I would really look forward to the new season coming out. Yeah. Because like you just said there with Power, I'm waiting for it. I think it's finished now on BBC, so I was waiting for them all to come out so I could just binge it. So yeah, just waiting for a day to dive off by myself there next week sometime, and I'm definitely going to sit down and watch it. Really look forward to that now.
Like, and do you know what's mad? Like, here's the thing. Like, we've been talking for 40 odd minutes about Netflix, and
we haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg.
We're going nowhere.
Before we got on, you were talking about The Family.
The Family haven't mentioned that.
Yeah,
which is stunning.
There's a
it's
new
proper conspiracy theory style documentary.
The last year's season of American Horror Story, which is pretty popular. Apocalypse. Finished watching that there last week. Liked it and didn't like it. I'm not the biggest fan of American Horror Story in general, but what I will say with the American Horror Stories, you can watch any season at any time, more or less, without having to watch the other seasons. That's one reason why it's very popular. But for this season, you definitely need to watch at least Coven. Okay, a lot of witches and stuff in it.
What's your thing with fucking witches?
Yeah, it's weird actually.
For a fella who's terrified of them. That's what, 3 shows now?
Yeah,
Well,
actually, yeah.
Joe,
But I like I like to be scared. I like being scared.
Oh my god. Do you know
yeah,
what?
so that's there. The new season is actually coming out soon, 1984, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, if you're just looking to,
and obviously if you're really scared of things, so Surviving R. Kelly is there as well.
yeah, no, that's something that I've been told about and worked so many times, but it just seems too heavy for me. I can't. What about yourself?
Will we sit down and watch that someday?
Oh Jesus, man!
Because that's my problem as well.
It's like, from what
I
I've
feel like
heard,
I need to watch it.
It sounds so heavy. Like
But
I do as well. Like I do feel like I need to watch it. Yeah, maybe. It got, again, another one that got rave reviews. People were like, this is unbelievable. It's crazy. Like, you know, like, and these allegations.
I've read
about
like so
him for
many
years,
snippets.
like,
I've read so many snippets and everything from it and reviews of it, and it's getting incredible things. But as you said, like, when I'm looking at something happier to watch versus that, I'm like, oh.
It's just the fact that it's real as well. Do you know, like, there's 5 episodes that are an hour
I know,
long.
but we need to watch it. We need to get off our asses and watch it.
Yeah. No, I do.
Like, there's loads of stuff, and like as we said, we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg.
If you are looking for something stupid that's got short episodes, lads, Derry Girls. Have you watched it?
Derry Girls.
Yeah. Derry Girls is fucking brilliant.
It's so funny.
I was watching it there one time. We watched about 3 episodes in a row, and I was like, I would happily watch this for the next 6 or 7 hours. Like, it is quality.
I'm fairly sure I
TV.
watched the 3 seasons. Is it 2 or 3 seasons?
I think it's
two. Is it
2? Actually, yeah. There's a new season coming out soon enough on Channel 4.
I watched the 2 of them in a sitting.
Yeah, like, they're only 20-minute episodes, but aren't they just like, you watch it and they're so funny, you just want more. You just want to go back for more.
You know that like that the humor is exactly what it must have been like up there. It's like, oh Jesus, yep. The boys are out with the guns and the bombs and fucking bastards will have to go around the long way now. You're like, no, that's a bomb. Like, we're watching that going, that's a bomb, and they're just strolling around the corner going, fucking have to take the long way now.
Yeah.
That's what life was.
Just laid back, like, but not at the same time. No, but no, definitely, like, it's so funny. Highly recommend it.
Funny.
Again, if you're just looking for something easy to watch, like, definitely.
Do you know what? Derry Girls is probably, despite the fact we've talked for the best part of an hour on it, highest recommendation that we're going to walk away from this is Derry Girls. So I'm happy to wrap it up at this point.
Derry Girls / Marianne. Give it a watch. Yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy to wrap it up.
Right, Dean, see us home.
Okay, so where you can find our podcast and tell your friends about us is pretty much everywhere. We're on Spotify, Acast, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. You can also find us on Goosed.ie. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. If you've got any questions or want to give us a shout out, feel free. Like and share. And good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace. Dean, I love you. Pat, I'm going to see you soon. And all the love. Do you want to say goodbye? And on that note, officially.
Cheers, folks.
Oh, actually, before we do go, we've been recording this on International Podcast Day. I know it's going to be well gone and past. But, do you know...
Happy International Podcast Day.
International Podcast Day. Round of fucking applause.
Oh, shit, it wasn't recording.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye, folks.
Yeah, good luck.